What's going on, people of YouTube? This is the first time I've ever made a regular recording video. Usually, I record on TikTok, um, but now I don't have service on this phone, so I got to use my camera on the phone. But yeah, so if you follow me on TikTok, you know there was a topic going around where can if yeah the topic was if Insomniac Spider-Man from the game and Batman Arkham Knight from the game, if they switch cities, would they be able to complete the story in each other's representing city? And and a lot of people are saying that Insomniac Spider-Man would have problems completing like the main objective of the story of Gotham City, like keeping Gotham safe. I'm here to tell you, I don't think he would have that much trouble. In fact, I think he would most definitely complete like the main problem of the story, which is again Scarecrow. Technically, not even the Arkham Knight, because the Arkham Knight, if Batman isn't there, then the Arkham Knight wouldn't be there. Still, point thing, let's just say Arkham Knight, Scarecrow, Militia. Those are the two important things. So, the main purpose, or the main threat to the Gotham City would be the Militia, Arkham Knight, and Scarecrow. And a lot of people are thinking that Spider-Man would have trouble with that story. I disagree, because as we see in the Insomniac Spider-Man games, a lot of people put out there like, oh, how's he going to deal with the tanks? He's dealt with tanks in the Insomniac games. Now a lot of people thinking, oh, but he can't even pick up a whole tank. What's he going to do? He's going to rip off the turret and swing it and smash it at the other tanks. We know his Spidey sense helps him dodge, gunfire from either point blank or long range. If one of the tanks have a missiles, he can just web it up, swing it, and just return to sender it back. But yeah, the tanks would be no problem for Spider-Man because he's dealt with that stuff in the Insomniac games before. Scarecrow. Now, a lot of people are thinking, because I've seen people talk about the Scarecrow and the Scorpion poison debate, and a lot of people were saying that Scarecrow's poison would affect Peter more, where, don't get me wrong, it definitely would, but Spider-Man has a suit, has built in his suit, it's like the computer thing that he used that can help him whip up a cure for said poison. And yes, I'm using poison as a term for both Scorpion and Scarecrow, so that way there's no fight in the comments. And we all forget that Peter is a genius, and with the computer in his suit, he would be able to find a way to cure this. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, Batman couldn't find a cure. No, he couldn't. I don't know why. That probably just means maybe Batman isn't that smart. I don't know. But yeah, because what is it? Peter's suit can analyze the toxins in the chemical compound in that poison, and he'll be able to discover a cure for the Scarecrow's gas. I almost said Joker. Jesus Christ. Now, don't get me wrong. He'll still be affected by it, because he was affected by the Scorpions too. It's just with his Spidey sense, he'll be able to, dodge any danger that his mind will think there is. Like as we see in the Insomniac games, his Spidey sense kicked in when he was fighting Scarecrow. I think it was Scarecrow, Scorpion. Too many S villains. But yeah, we saw his Spidey sense was active while he was in that hallucination that was due to the poison. Now, if he got injected with Scarecrow's field toxin, again, the same thing would happen. He would be infected. He would have fears, but his Spidey sense would help him, overcome that fear, and eventually he would find a cure for the Scarecrow's field toxin. Oh God, my brain. But yeah, what was the next point? Yeah, because we talked about Scarecrow, we talked about the Arkham Knight. Well, we didn't talk about the Arkham Knight. Well, the Arkham, I don't know, because the whole purpose of the Arkham Knight being there was to get back at Batman. So would he even still be there if Batman wasn't there? Is the question. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and then I'll make a separate video about if he would be able to take on the Arkham Knight, aka Jason Todd. If you want to go further beyond. Actually, before we do that, back to my. So let's switch over to Bruce now. So we put Bruce in New York City, and would he be able to defeat the main purpose of the game, protecting the city? Which in that game, you start off with taking down Kingpin in the beginning, and after that, we have. What is it? It's kind of like an all-out war in the city where it is between Mr. Negative and his demon minions, and I think there was some. Trying to think, what is it? What's the name? Sable and her goons as well. I think those were the two main topics. It was. Oh, then you had Dr. Otto. Well, he was a main villain at the end. But yeah, so we'll say for Batman, his main thing he has to worry about is Mr. Negative and his demon army, Sable and her militia army, and that all-out war between the two. And then you have the Sinister Six, which will be the final the main bosses. Now, would Batman be able to complete this story? No, because if you remember in my rules, I did say what if they swapped, and by swapping I mean what if they teleported. With the gear and everything, however, Batman wouldn't have his Batmobile, so he would have a lot more trouble taking down the tanks and armored vehicles. The goons, no problem. Where he would find trouble and where he would probably fail would be the tanks, the armed vehicles, and the heavy hitter villains. Like I talked to my buddy about it. But yeah, Batman, he wouldn't be able to defeat or to save New York City if him and Insomniac Spider-Man switch. Because remember, in my previous video, I gave myself some rules. Now we swapped the two characters from each of the representing gameverse, and it's just them and the current suit at like full potential. And that's all they get, which means Batman wouldn't have his Batmobile, he wouldn't have access to Robin, Alfred, Batgirl, the GCPD. He would have the NYPD, but the NYPD wouldn't know him, but I'm pretty sure the NYPD would still work with him, but again, it wouldn't change the topic. But yeah, no, Insomniac Spider-Man would complete the Arkham Knight game. Like, he'd be able to save the city. He wouldn't do it as fast as Batman, because remember in the game he did it. Batman did it overnight. But that's just the whole gimmick of Batman and the game. But yeah, no, Spider-Man would definitely protect Gotham City, and if anything, I think he would be able to cure the gas. Where, when you think about it, Batman, the only way he was able to cure or defeat the gas was he needed help from Poison Ivy. So again, and then that brings back to my other thing where I said Batman definitely wouldn't be able to save New York City, just because he would, like most of Batman's victories, he had help with. When it came to Scarecrow's gas, he needed Poison Ivy. When it came to some of the main villains and the goons, he needed backup from one of the Robins, or Robin or Nightwing. But yeah, sorry to say this, guys, Insomniac Spider-Man would definitely save Gotham City. Batman would have trouble, and I don't think he'd be able to save New York City. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You guys stay safe. Have a wonderful day.